Hello, friends. It's me, Cynthia, and Marty, and Azalea. She's behind the camera. And we are Greengirlstudios, and this is our Sunday evening magic hour. Thank you all for joining us. I see Morphing Designs is here today joining us. And if one of y'all wouldn't mind giving me a heads up if the stream sounds good, and if everything looks all right before we get too far in, I'd love to adjust any of the things that I can adjust right now. All right, oh, I see. So, just a little reminder that we pick from the comments and do a giveaway. Occasionally, we have it prepared, and a lot of times we just do it right after. Where we're like, well, I made a bunch of these, so I might as well give some to some customers. We made a bunch of these actually, and forgot that a lot of times when you do a craft show, components and things are not the best sellers. Oh, hello, Nancy. Hello, Nilda. Someone is hyper focused on what I have in my hand. Azalea, do you think he's interested?
Maybe.
I think he may be interested. So we'll give folks thank you, Nilda. Yeah, thank you. Morphing Designs, all seems good. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we did Y'all Day yesterday in Johnson City, and that was awesome. That's our friend Brian Saraway, a local artist to that region, put together a really cool craft show he asked a lot of his friends, and it was fun because it was a lot of big crafty people. So friends that a lot of people I already knew. So it was kind of it felt like a party, And it was a good time. It really was. And today I don't remember the name of, this is so crazy. I'm a little bit tired because after tearing down, we set up this morning and then tore down at 4. And I had some last minute customers, so I did not tear down at the same. I gave it a minute, so it was nice because I had a rush at the very end. Anyway, it was a really good time. We had the this cat's like, all right, enough talk from you, lady.
That tap.
He's like,
in case you forgot,
you have a job to do. Oh, I was struggling there for a moment, dear. So I was struggling with that cutting it. He usually likes he's like, what's this miniature stream? Like Easy Cheese.
oh,
So he gets a little over enthusiastic. You see that?
He does the bite and drag.
The bite. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Pamela. Oh, in Frigid, Ohio. Hey, listen, it's cold here. We were unloading the car this morning. I was like, what temperature is this? It was like 20 degrees, and for Asheville, that's very cold. Yesterday, it was like 50. But you know what? Standing on, it was held in this pavilion. It's really cute. So I didn't have to set up a tent because that, to me, is not, I don't like setting up a tent. But who does? Fix this. Cold Avery County. 8 degrees. Ugh, sorry. That's no fun right there. Oh, here you go, son. I showed your picture a lot today, Marty. Because I made a paper doll of him. And so no one asks for this, but I'm like, hey, do you want to see a picture of my cat? And most folks are too polite to just come out and say no. At least not yet. No one has said, no, I don't really want to see your cat. Pretty much everybody is like, I would love to see your cat. And so then I show a picture, and then they show me a picture of their animals, and we bond. It's good times. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, my friends. Thank you all for joining me. So today we have a small handful of Shibuichi charms to share, and that will be by lot sale. We did not have a chance to put those on the website. That's just for us tonight. And what else are we doing? So I sold a bunch of painted pieces today. And yesterday I did sell a lot of painted ones. And usually I save them for my necklaces. But I marked them at 12. Sometimes I mark them, and they don't take me very long. And not very long at all. 80 at the moment. Oh, 80. What time of day is it?
Where?
Morphing Designs. Is it Tucson area? Is
Actually,
it Tucson? Hello, Karen. Oh, hello, Shannon. Shannon says, hello, beautiful people and handsome cat. Hello, hello. We've been on for 5 minutes. I think that's a good amount of time. So drop some comments and we will pick from it. We've been doing that. We were low key doing giveaways and we just didn't really, we should be telling people so that everyone can get in on it. But what we're doing is picking from the giveaways after the stream. Azalea goes through, counts up how many we have, and we just make
we just
like
do a
rough,
random number generator, and
random
then we
number
count
generator.
down from the top or the bottom, and whoever we land on is the one that gets it.
Just something random. But if you got it the week before, we try to pick another person. So 5 p.m. Tucson time. A picture of the sunsets. They're epic.
Do we want to tell them who won the blue seed bead kit?
And Gardan, I thought.
Yeah.
And
So we wanted to
Gardan.
let everybody know that one, because you know what? I thought
And
that
Wendy
was
was the week
perfect,
before,
too.
or maybe
Yeah.
it's the week before
Wendy
that.
was the last one. I thought that was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I saw that would land on hers, I was like, that's actually the perfect timing for her seed beads, because you said that you were making lots of crochet necklaces lately, Anne. So that looks like
So
the
this
perfect
one,
thing, I think.
so I have a couple of these. So we'll pop this in any package you have going, or we'll send you an invoice. So that's from Wednesday, right? That's from Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a couple more. So we will put those, we'll pick again from the comments section. And like I said, it's random, but you have a higher likelihood. That's all I'm saying. If we see that, it's higher likelihood. All right, my friends, let's see. Let's put
It's
this
just
camera on.
probability and math.
Probability
if you have
and
more
math.
entries, then you have more chance.
Yeah, it's just like how they do with
The
a
raffle.
raffle.
Essentially, what we're doing is a raffle.
Yeah, but you didn't have to buy any tickets. It's just the comments section. All right, I'm looking for, what am I doing here? I'm getting ready to switch the cameras over. Going a little tighter. And if you can hear my tank splashing and gurgling in the background, I apologize. I will try to turn it off, but I hate for my snail to not have oxygenated water, and I'm letting the tank go down because I'm getting ready. I have to move everything because I have a tank on the counter, and as y'all know, we are getting ready to do a renovation. We've been, we had a GoFundMe for a minute. It's still on there. And we've raised money to get tiles. We need to get cabinets. There's a few other things. Obviously, the biggest thing is the labor for digging out our subflooring. That's the biggest. We got a couple of names. We have a contractor, but we're going to get a couple of other estimates because you never know what's going to happen. So I have some of these. Let me just show some of the ones I did the other night. And I sold a bunch of them. I spread these out in a great big bowl. I have a really big bowl that's wooden and really pretty. And I spread them out on the table, and people pick them through them. And mostly I was doing it to show ideas, to say, hey, here's some of the things that you can do with our beads. No, not in line. I thought I was in line. And here's I was experimenting. My friend Jamie and I, boy, we experimented. We must have sat there knotting these things, trying to figure out the perfect knot structure for this. And you know what's funny is that it didn't really, nothing really landed, if you know what I mean. Oh, our friend Connie. Hello, Connie. Oh, Melanie. It's so awesome that you all do that. What were we talking about there? Oh, probably about the giveaways. Yes. Connie, we're picking from the comments section. We let me put this in there. We'll just throw this one in the corner so we can remember.
It's like the closest thing that we can do from when we used to do the StreamYard giveaway.
Yeah, I missed that, but this is good too. I mean, it's a little more casual, but it doesn't have the same excitement as that tool. But you know what? That tool cost $25, and it's not even. It isn't a done thing. It doesn't
You
mean it'll work.
You can only use it if you have a subscription with StreamYard, and they charged us a lot more.
Oh, they changed it. I forgot about that. The StreamYard went from, I think it was like, Azalea and I were like, you must be joking.
My emails, they were stern, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were like, are you joking us? Oh, so this is what we were experimenting with, was making the perfect knotting so that you could put this on a bag charm, because we saw a lot of bag charms and we were going to perfect that. I still don't think it's perfected, but that's what these guys are. This is the other thing I came up with, and I was like, look, it has the burn marks. I don't love that. But anyway, yeah, so that's a reminder. We'll put that right there. Oh, hello, Ann Gardan. Our friend Ann. So I sold a bunch. Oh, look at this one. Isn't this cute? So I'll get the workout. This is an old piece, an oldie but a goodie. So I sold a bunch of these charms painted ones for $12, and they moved fast. So I don't know if you can see this. Like what I did was I painted the background colors on the tree green, and it's kind of fun. I made this a really long time ago, probably before Azalea was born, for sure. Oh, hello, Jeanette. Hello. And I put in a lot of little details. So this is off of a painting. I can't remember, the Renaissance painter that had the little winged snake lady, but I loved it. So I carved my own version, and then I put an apple on the back. Isn't that cute? I guess I should have painted the apple. I didn't even think of it. Maybe I will do that later. I'll separate this so I can paint it. What's shaking here? Is that my knee hitting that? It must be hitting my knee. And, I painted this one. This one looks pretty good. We'll paint another one. It's pretty satisfying. I feel like it's kind of like coloring books. If you've ever spent time doing that, it has the same vibe, where you're kind of just sort of going into it. Is that me doing the shaking?
That was me just now. I wasn't touching the table before, but the one just now was me.
This is pretty fun here. This is the faceted nugget. And I think it looks good painted. It shows it's different faceting. Oh, and I wanted to show the handbag after I completely finished painting it. Oh, and I did these too. I did this last night, right after the show. I went home and painted a bunch of these for today. And it was good. Sold a bunch of them. Oh, this was good too. Oh, hi, Wendy. Wendy. Wendy says, hi, everyone. Goodness organizing beads and forgetting the time. That's good times when you're in that mode. I call that the flow state. It's very fun to be in that state. So these are some of the done ones. Let's see if there's any in there that I did the other night that I want to share with y'all. Because I thought we could paint some today. And I sold a bunch of these today. People like this because it's almost like you're getting a little sea creature on an oyster shell. And that's like getting oysters. How cute would that be if this was just like a little bit bigger? I love thinking about that. As tiny sea creatures that have a face like sea monkeys. It's like my history, my love of sea monkeys, those illustrations. This came out pretty good. People looked at these when they were painted. You guys make these? Yes, in the garage. Make some space. There we can look at I'll paint the back of this. I painted about 75 of these for Beads of Courage when Jean picked us to do the bead for, I can't remember what the event was, but it was something about magic. And so she asked us to do that, and I painted 75 of them, and maybe a couple extras because I liked the finish. These are using pigment powders. I just bought some pigment powders pretty recently. I got these And what I love about pigment powders is that you can use them with so many kinds of mixed media type projects, like with polymer clay, with so many things. Oh, our friend Carrie. Hello, Carrie Arase is joining us. We're painting pewter today. So look how many colors are in here. Isn't that fun? Usually I'll pick between 3 and 4 of them to play with and pick it like a palette. And I usually pick the same. I love that quinacridone color of magenta and a teal. But this time I think I will go with, let's see. I started this one before the live. I was already in it to win it. Kind of fun. I I don't know. This is one of my favorite pieces that I made. And this is not bronze, but I painted it with this. Works pretty good. And I use these, kind of a recyclable palette. It peels right off of this plastic. Very easy. Hello, Carrie. We are doing a little bit of a giveaway. When I say a little bit, we are dropping. Well, maybe we'll do a couple of these in someone's package, So I have some of these made up. We made some for the craft markets we've been doing, and they're done. So I thought, hey, someone might like that. This is layered pigments. This is interference, and you get like that 2-color. Although I think this would be cuter if I painted the eyes. Let's paint the eyes on this black. That one I painted the eyes on, and it looks so cute. I tell you what, I know a few of you out there do shows, and I want to stress one of the things that I've noticed that I have a problem with is putting signage out. And I forget sometimes to put signs on everything or stickers. And you know what? I had the most embarrassing moment. I will tell you about my embarrassing moment at Yalla Day yesterday. At the end of the show, I'm going to pick these guys out. Iridescent red. You know what? Maybe I want a regular gold. Something with a little more oomph. That was kind of bland, especially since I have these. So it's kind of like, maybe pick something with a little more excitement, like maybe that one. Maybe this one. I kind of want to show that purse right away, but look at this weirdo color. Crazy. It's called moss green. That's not very mossy at all. But how do you feel about that? I think that'd be good. You want to pick, if you're going to do like this look, I have foils in there, but there's a technique to doing this. And that's pretty fun. You want to get 2 colors that sit together on the color wheel. Oh my gosh, I didn't notice that there were little scoop spoons in there. Look at this. In the very bottom, I was like, what's that shining in there? Didn't notice. Little scoops. That was the first time I noticed that. That's cute. That makes me happy. It's the small things. There's all different purples. There's like 4 purples, but maybe I'll go with this. Maybe like that. Those are pretty. Wendy says, how was the show? It was good times. Good times. A lot of good times. Although I'll tell you my embarrassing story. So I was walking around at the end, rushing through to find something. I saw these candles. There was this gal that had dried flowers. She had a flower farm. And she had all different kinds of ornaments and oil, all kinds of really beautiful stuff that she had grown and dried. And so I went up, and there were no prices on her table. I didn't know, and I just thought, oh, that looks good. And so I saw these candles. I said, oh, these are pretty. And it was like a pillar candle about this high, like a Coke can, and the whole outer surface was completely covered in outward-facing dried flowers. So the whole surface was completely covered. And I was like, so how do these guys burn? Isn't this kind of dangerous? Because, it's not dangerous because anything that the fire touches kind of, So already I was kind of like setting the stage up for being kind of contrary. And so I was like, she had one that was made with black wax. And I was like, they don't really smell like anything, because I picked one up and I smell it and smell like anything. She's like, oh yeah, I don't scent the wax. It's some kind of soy. Oh, I better put my optimizers and glasses on. And so then I said, oh, how much are these? And I thought she's like, this one's, I thought she said 15 for the white and 16 for the black. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cheap. It's pretty good for like a big candle. Usually you would expect like a really fancy big candle to be about, at least $25 or so. And I went back to my booth. It was a few booths down, and I handed her a 20. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I said 50 and 60. And I was taken aback, because I was kind of like, whoa, I never, I was like that is like, and I didn't say this, but in my mind, I was like, that is like the most expensive candle I've ever even heard of.
Wow, good luck making sales.
And she's like, that's been happening all day, where people think that I'm saying 15 and 16, and then they're...
Yeah, because that's a reasonable price for a candle. Nobody's going to assume that a candle is going to be $50 or $60 for an unscented candle. Lord. And one that's just soy wax. Like, girl, be serious.
Well,
be so serious.
I mean, she did grow the flowers and everything, but it was an awkward moment, because then I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, I feel so super awkward right now. And before that, I was like, oh, if it were my candle, if I made it, because it was unscented, and I said that it was scented, I was like, oh, I would have made it like beeswax. I like compounded the awkwardness.
Well, I mean, that's reasonable though, because beeswax is more expensive. And if you're not going to scent the candles, all it's going to smell like is
burning flower petals. Because it was like
I've burned dried rose petals, and I'll tell you right now, it doesn't smell much like rose. It smells closer to burning hair than it smells like rose. So if you're going to have something that's going to be like snapping, crackling, and popping,
yeah, they're dangerous, because if you have,
and it's a pillar candle, so you
like
have
you can't
to put
leave
it on a tray to make sure that the wax doesn't get everywhere. Plus, it not being scented and being $50 or $60. Good luck.
I was just
not
like,
to be a hater, but that's kind of outrageous.
Well, I don't know if it's. I just thought, well, for me, since I plan to burn it, I guess if you're the type of person that was just keeping it for a decoration, like some people will keep a candle for a really long time, and it's like a decoration, then I can see you probably don't want to have, I actually don't know. So it was just the lesson I learned from that was, you know what, avoid awkward interactions by having all your prices readily available and easy to see. So it's not like people have to feel, I don't know. I felt awkward, but that's not to say everybody would have that same.
Well, I would not.
Connie said 50 for a candle, please. Well,
if I was with you at the time, I would not have felt embarrassed with your assumptions, because first of all, candles are usually burnt for a scent standard nowadays. Like, it's supposed to be for a room to smell good. So there's one thing off the list that's kind of expected. Secondly, it being just soy wax.
Oh, I don't know if it was just soy wax, but
what did she say? Because a soy wax candle burns really fast, so if you did burn it, you would have a very low amount. Whenever, I've made pillar candles. I always mix it with beeswax to give it structure, so it doesn't just squeeze. Like, if you squeezed it on accident, it wouldn't just collapse, because soy wax is super soft. It's like the softest wax.
I don't know if they were soy, but she said she forgot her signage, and so I've forgotten signage. So I wasn't like, I do that all the time, but it made me realize, hey, that's pretty important, because that's, I don't know, it was really awkward. And so it made me realize, wow, this must be for some people, because sometimes, and then I didn't have signs on things, and then during the show, I quickly put signs on everything. I mean, I do have it like little cardboard signs in front, like little small signs about this big, and they'll be like in front of the bowl of pieces. let's say like $8
Like
per.
the little cardboard signs that I've made, I think are pretty reasonable.
Yeah, no, I think they're pretty.
Because they're
it's
not
there.
super bright colored and they're clear and legible and they're not like thrown up. Because if you have like a bunch of like super bright kind of garish signs, then they don't look that good on the table. I feel like the little cardboard brown signs match the vibe of the table anyway.
Yeah, I would say they have a good.
I don't know. I guess I'm just good at justifying things that I approve of.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it. She did grow the flowers and everything because she has a flower farm here in town. I feel like.
I feel like if that's something that you're gonna do, you're gonna need more stuff on your table.
No, she did. She had a bunch of stuff. The candles were only part of it, so I'm sure she had other things. And I saw her work at the Generalist, and it's really pretty. It's like beautiful dried flowers, but maybe they're really time consuming. I don't know. I'm not sure what the story is on that, but I get it. Melanie says if it didn't light itself and clean my house, I am not paying $50 for a candle. LOL. Well,
Well, it's just,
I don't make enough
if
money
you do
to.
burn it, you know what's gonna happen when you burn flowers?
Yeah,
it
they
goes
do.
Like,
they pop. They pop.
and it flickers. It flickers like little embers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. They do. That's why I asked her. I was like, "Wow, this must be a crazy experience."
I've seen candles that had the flowers on the top. They were jar candles, and so when they did the snap, crackle, and pop, they kind of were in the jar, so it was not so crazy. But if it's a pillar candle and you burn it and you have to put it on a plate, then it's kind of dangerous. You're 100% correct. I don't think that's that awkward because that is dangerous.
Yeah, she said she'd never burnt it. She said just attend it. And I was like, huh. Well, then some people don't like the fragrance, but because I'm telling you, that would have a fragrance. The burning of the type of.
I've never made an unscented candle, but the pillar candles I've made were fire. They were good. I've made some that smelled really good, and I mixed them with beeswax because then they wouldn't melt too fast.
Melanie says you are going to set your house on fire. Yeah, I think so. So I did a coat with white gold previously before the live started, and I did a real light coat, just brushed it on, so it didn't really fill it up. Didn't really like fill up the cracks. I just dry brushed it into the surface. So now I put a little bit of this here. This has iridescent aqua. It's one of the new ultimate paints, and I put some of these different powdered pigment pearlescent mica powders. This is the moss green I'm mixing in right now, and I'm just adding a little bit of what feels to me like a patina, a little bit like a green verdigris finish. It's kind of fun to put this on there, and you can use a napkin to remove some of it if you feel like you're coming on too strong. But it's fun to do this, like hit the outside. One of my favorite things to do is to go in with one color like this. So I just did a little bit on this side, right? I'm going to set that down, clean my brush off. Oh, I see Cherie joining us. Hello, Cherie. And I'm going to pick up some of this rust color. And this is really nice and vibrant. But anyway, that was my embarrassing moment for the weekend. And also a learning lesson, like, hey, I don't want my customers to feel this way. So it's going to be pretty important for me from here on out to try and get as many signs on my things. So where I did not put the green, I'm dusting a little bit of this copper and just going in there. You can layer, of course, and you get kind of a purpley color. I think that looks pretty good. Love it. Now, anywhere that you have a raised area, it has a higher likelihood of being kind of removed by wear. And so if you want it to be more in the cracks, what you do, this whole technique features dry pigments and a dry brush, because when I rinsed this, I dried it off again. But you can scrumble this patina paint into the recessed areas and like dig it in there and wipe off the surface. So that way it's in the cracks itself, and you'll get that color will be much more longer lasting than if you just did the surface brush. And you can see every time I go over, like when I go over that green, it kind of goes purpley. And that's how you can get a really beautiful iridescent finish. And that was with the moss green and this really dark, I don't know what color that is. Ruby red. It's really pretty. It is popping with those colors. Yes, I love it. I'm a fan. I think that looks really good. So I could choose to put another layer of this on it if I want. Let's try it. Just go over the whole thing, just for funsies. And also, you know what? It won't really change because these pigments are really hard to remove from just about anything, except for these lids don't seem to. It peels right off, so that's good news. Let me get some of this color and dust the back a little. While see, this is a little bit tacky. It's not quite dried, and then go in. And usually, what I like to do is go one side. See, I'm going to take off a little bit on there, so it's still dry. And let's pick up some of this green right here. I'm going to go on this side of it. Well, it's still a little bit damp. And that way it's locking that color into place. Yeah, I saw Connie said, I always price everything individually. That's probably the better thing. I make a sign that's like for usually a batch of things on the table. But yeah, I have some. Like it takes me forever to price. It's my hardest thing to deal with is pricing. So it was good for me to see that experience of not having the sign and then going through the rigmarole of the embarrassment of it all. So
It's not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not crazy, but it was just good learning for me, you know, because I'm pretty casual with pricing my stuff on the table with like my signs or kind of.
We usually have everything priced. I don't know, like we have.
Yeah, now we do, but there have been times when I would be real, like there'll be like the necklaces taking.
So that's usually one of my jobs is making sure everything on the table is priced. At least for the big crafty.
Yeah,
the only thing on the table that wasn't priced were some of your fancy new necklaces, and that's pretty good because that's just.
And I sold those anyway because someone did ask, but I explained everything. Now this one I already pre-painted it with a blue, and it looks so good with that red on top. I feel like I love it. And I used this blue one here for this. I just brushed the whole thing with it. And now I'm going over it with this. And I think it looks good. I like it. Although this wide brush, maybe, that's fine. They're so fun to paint, I tell you. And then if you don't like it, you can always soak them off the paint. And I think that will come off maybe with, I'm going to try this green on this. Ooh. Yeah, that particularly looks good in the wings. It's kind of like a kingfisher's wing. Oh, we're at the 30-minute mark. I need to get that stuff going. Show the Shibuichi. Looking good. Maybe I'll try. Yeah, these are fun to paint. They remind me of painting the little figures when I was a kid. We used to use testers, and that required paint thinner. And I'll tell you, I do not miss having to use paint thinner to thin. It really gave me a headache. So let's see what's in this. Sometimes I'll buy these cheapo brushes. I don't know where this came from. I think Artist Loft is a Michael's brand. But they'll be like, oh, this came with 8, but I jam-packed a bunch of other things in there. I like these little zipper pouches that come with them. Have some fancy expensive brushes tucked in there with super cheap brushes. I don't use my fancy expensive ones on patina paint. That's for my watercolors. I like to use fancy brushes for that. Do a little hair. Kind of fun to do, little details. It's like Scully. I painted a bird girl that looked just like Scully from the X-Files, and I sold that today. Little one of these. I mean, it didn't look exactly like her, but it had red hair. This one has a little red hair. Isn't it cute? I need to do it where this is not focusing down on this back. There's too much happening here. I think I need to either keep it down low or high. Sure, he says testers get you high and not in a good way. I feel like it gives me a headache. Can't deal with it. Too headachy. So this technique that I just showed you is a layered and kind of I would call it an iridescent finish. And it's not just from using this. It's using pigment powders. And what is this? Apricot pink. I didn't get any apricot pink, did I? Wow, that's nice. Let's put some of that on there. You know, I did get quite a bit on, quite a big scoop. You don't really need that much. Wow, look how saturated in color that is. It's very pink. But I don't know how close to an apricot that is. Yeah, look at that color. It's like fluorescent. If you could see it, you would say that is a fluorescent color right there. All right, let me see. I love how this came out. I kind of want to do a whole batch, but this is the way we send it out into the world, like this. And this is what it can look like when you're painting. What do you guys think? Do you like the finish? It's kind of like a raku pot. So after this has dried for a few minutes, it's already dry actually, I will put it in. I have a little heater underneath the table. It's for cooking polymer clay. It's a little convection. It's not for cooking. I just use it for that. And I don't use it for any kind of food because, you know, I don't know about that. Oh, that one's already a done one. I have some here. Look at this one. This is old time. This is from when I carved this to look like Azalea when she's a baby. She used to do this thing, we called it superstar arms. And that's how she would do her arms, like really spread out like that. And she had a hat like that. Pretty cute. Yeah, this came out good. All right, which one should I paint? Oh, maybe I have some. I have red panda colors. Let's do that. I need some more. Although these paints dry so quick. Look how fast that's all dry. And these just peel right off of this kind of plastic. It doesn't stay at all. Maybe I'll turn her into an orange-tailed mermaid. I did not make any with orange tails. Oh, Donna. Our friend Donna. Oh, Melanie says, love the finish. Pretty, kind of dreamy. And Carrie says, love it. Love the finishes. And Wendy says, love me some raku. Love that purse you made last time. I'll show you what I did with the strap. You guys can tell me if you like it or not. I think it came out pretty good. In a few minutes, I am going to wrap this part up and show these Shibuichi pieces that we've been working on. Oh, that's nice. Got this color on there. Azalea, is it too busy in this my screen with all of my background things?
No, it looks good.
And I'm scrumbling this in, but trying to get it into the cracks because you know what? The surface things might be worn. Like you might have that wear off eventually, but whatever's in the crevices will remain. And I think it looks pretty good when they've had a chance to kind of weather. I think it looks like an antique toy. I have a salamander that's been on my bag, and it looks pretty cute. It's gotten dinged up knocking against my car, but it's pretty adorable, and the colors stayed pretty well, even though it's been dinged up. We had a good day today. Our friend Kira, she stopped by the show. She picked out some stuff. Even though I saw her yesterday, she didn't get to come over. So since she wasn't working a show today, she came over to the show at New Belgium Brewery. It was the BIPOC. That's Black Indigenous People of Color. I asked Azelle, I was like, do I fit in that? She's like, you're half Filipino. I think so. If that counts. I'm trying a little bit. I'm going to dust in there. I'm going to go and put some of this green. Oh, and I have one of the gals works at a farm, and she gave me some elderberry, some kind of syrup. I'm not sure if it's lemonade or what, but it was in a mason jar. Okay, so that's 2 colors on there with the pink. Looks pretty good. Maybe I'll do a little bit more. I need the stuff dried out. And sometimes I layer these with different colors. So this is the aqua, and it has, if you see the sheen, it's like a aqua blue sheen. This one has iridescent, aqua, and blue. They look very similar. Very, very similar. But this one is more purpley. More purple. This one has a peach. You can see that kind of peachy look. The only thing is you have to shake them pretty frequently because this pigment powder, boy, it settles real quick. All right. Let's get some of that. Pick up that color. I love it. And let's see, we'll go around some of her. It turns a purpley color once it hits the red, the reddish plum color. I think it actually worked a little bit better with this great big brush. That's getting it done. That was a little too like, hey, what are we doing here? Yeah, that's more like it. So sometimes a bigger brush, even though it's a small surface area, that big brush gets it done. None of this gentle patting. Yeah, that looks good. I think it can hold more pigment. That's why it works so good. Yeah, there we go. If you don't go and you don't cover the whole thing and you leave certain areas unpigmented from the alternate color, you get that wavy sort of more of an iridescent than you have. So I hit the tail on the top and then left this kind of pinkish with just going a little bit. And where I mixed it went purpley. If you cover the whole thing, it's less, I don't know how to describe it. It just looks a little flatter. This way you get a little more dimension. And it looks harder than what it is, if that makes any sense. All right, I'm going to push some of the stuff out of the way. Even though I have that pile of paint, I'm going to use it real quick because I hate that sitting there like that. After I just squeezed it, I'm going to do one more of these. Or maybe I'll do this one. Because I just did this one. So let's see what happens with, I'll do a couple, see how fast I can do it. All right, this one's a little red panda. And I was like, why do people keep saying it's a red panda, but it looks like a cat?
I didn't think it looked like well, it looks kind of like baby, but baby's just different. I think it looks like a red panda.
Yeah, that looks cute, doesn't it? With that little red. He is so cute. It's a little clumpy right now. I think my brush was not dry enough. Sometimes if it's too wet, it can resist. We don't want that. resisting. Might have to come back on with a little more dry. Let's see, this is a little more fluffy. Oh, in there. Here. And the more, see if when I go over it a little more with the brush itself is removing some of the highlighted areas. So keep that in mind. If you don't want that story, you then have to go over and recode it. So, oops. Let's go this side. These are they have a similar color palette as the leather paints, but they're not as saturated. Let that sit there. Let's see. Some more of this. It definitely has a watercolory effect if you were to just do like this and get a whole bunch of this color or this clear and really get it work it into the whole surface. And then hit the powders. Kind of fun to do that dusting of powder. I will say I enjoy doing that right there. Feels magical. All right, I'm gonna get another color. Let's say, how about a different green? Look what happened to my glasses. Kind of hard on this. Are you gonna use a purple and green or aqua? I won't use this one. Great for colds and viruses. Elderberry. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. It's in my bag. You know what I think we should do with it is make some mocktails. We could put it in some kombucha or just plain soda water. I think that'd be good. I know you guys, some of y'all out there are like, what's your fixation with kombucha? Well, it's not really fixation, but I do like it. And since I don't drink much alcohol anymore, it's pretty good for gut health. And I've grown to where I like the taste of it. I know, weird, right? If you've had it, some folks are like, it's too strong.
I like kombucha.
I know, my kids like it, and it does not last in this house.
It feels like it's like medicine.
Mm-hmm. It's a little medicinal, I will say
I like that.
It's
I
kind
to
of
feel like I'm drinking something good for me.
Mm-hmm. It definitely feels like you feel a little noble. You're like, look how good I am to you, little body. Like if you think, I told Azalea, think of your body as like a creature that you're taking care of it. Because sometimes I will not take care of the little brown creature that is my body, that is hungry, or I will not take very good care of it and I'll give it water or anything. So then if I think of it, oh, like a pet, well, I take care of my pets better than I do myself. So. Okay, so that one, I don't know how I feel about it. Could be better. But you know, the best part of that is that it can be changed. None of it's permanent. And if it goes murky, which can happen since I did orange and green in one piece, that was kind of to be expected. I kind of went off the rails a little bit with that one, with that combination. But, you know, sometimes you can just be experimental. Why not? I love the way that looks, and I'll put another layer. Now, if I were really thinking, I would get this a little bit wet and try to get it and work that into the cracks, because that's where we want it. So I just did the opposite of what I'm always telling everybody with this. To not use too much water, but I'm going to really pack that in there. I put water and some of this, and we'll see what happens. I think it'll be fine. It's almost like inlay at this point. Which I want to do a thing on inlay. I have a bezel or a ring that I did, and I want to inlay it. I made it specifically for the purpose of inlay. So I'm going to look into that. Maybe I'll bring it to Gem Club and see what the folks say about it. All right, I am going to set this aside because I can do this all night. And in fact, I will probably keep doing this when the live is over. But I'm going to clear some space. And this is cute. Some of these came out really cute. Throw them back in the pile. Oh, actually, what am I doing? I need to bake the ones. Take those out. Like, which ones did I toss in there? I just threw the ones in that I did paint. That one. And that's it, I think. So if I find another one, this one needs it. I'll rebake them. And I put them in the oven, in my little easy bake oven. It's a convection oven for cooking chickens. Remember, we're picking from the comments section, y'all. Our friend Ann, we picked last Wednesday, and our friend Ann is the winner, Ann Gardan. This week we haven't picked yet, but we will do that after the live is concluded. And what we do is put it in we count up how many comments we have. And a lot of times we'll look and see. If we see a lot, then we're like, hey, this one. And then sometimes we'll put it in a random number generator. So we have a couple ways. If we see that we already picked that person, then we try to pick somebody new, just so it's not want the same person. Remember that time we kept picking Pat Moore, and that was the random number generator? It was like every week I was like, Pat, you need to go play the lotto.
I know. I remember
that's good times. Oh, I see. What's your favorite kombucha brand? We love the Pink Lady. I can't remember the brand. Do you remember the brand? It's kind of a rounded off.
Of kombucha?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's
So we have this little gal.
S, I think. I think it starts with an S or something.
Yeah, I don't know. This was a new one. So we cast this in Shibu Ichi. Let me get in there so you can see some of the details. Came out good. Shibu Ichi is silver and copper, and it has a beautiful burgundy finish. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see, I'm getting there tighter. But anyway, if you're interested, we have 2 of these. It's 30, lot $5.90, and we haven't done a lot sale in a minute. So what we do, we're going to put all these on here, and you can put in the comments section if you want one of these. Oh, Ann said she didn't know if she won.
So maybe she joined late.
Yeah, I was going to say.
After we said it, yeah.
All right, so that's lot $5.90 if you're interested. These are Shibu Ichi pieces. We have probably, I don't know, not that many. Oh, hello, Abby. Hello. Here is a really pretty, this one, how many? Oh, only one of these came out. So we made a bunch, but only one out of that batch survived. This is the poppy. It's in Shibu Ichi. You see that colorful, that's the color of the metal, that kind of pinky silver. Oh, hello, Carolyn. Carolyn says, I am joining the chat line. Thank you, my friends. We will be picking that. We have some of these, a couple of those. We'll either drop it in order and you'll discover it. Like Wendy was like, surprise, she got a couple of little freebies in her package. So we've been doing that. There's a few others. It's not popping into my brain at the moment. So $5.91 if you would like the poppy or the poppy link. These look good like this. You could put that in there as a link on a bracelet sewn down to leather or with other beads. So much potential. This is the rose, and there's 2 of these, and it's $26, and that is $5.95 for that piece. It's really beautiful. Came out delightful. Let's see. Oh, remember. I think there's only one of this one. So this little mandragora, it's funny because there's always someone that says, oh, I see you like Harry Potter or something like that. And I'm like, listen, this is an ancient medieval symbol. So plant people have been around since there have been people, because they looked down at a plant or a carrot or what have you, a radish, and said, man, that looks just like a person. And one of those, the mandragora plant, it's very medicinal, like, apparently, but also I feel like I remember hearing some parts of it are toxic. I think the leaves. But anyway, that plant was precious back in the day, and they didn't want anyone to dig it up. So they said, hey, if you touch it, if you even look at it, or you try to dig it, you have to have all the special, like you have to have a dog to dig it for you, and you have to run away in the forest and not be around to hear it scream. So they had a lot of lore to protect it. I feel like people do that with ginseng, because it's kind of a precious thing. So this one is $5.89. I feel like there's only one. And if you would like this tiny mandrake, it's cute. It has a hidden veil right between the leaves here. So it could be something cute on a person's desk, or you could hang it up and they can just enjoy it. Like, I had several people today when they came to the show, several men, they were just like, you know what? I'm going to buy these. I'm going to put on my desk because they're really cool and I just like to look at it. So I liked hearing that. I was like, okay, cool. That's $5.89 and it's $22 if you're interested. All right, here's an orchid. So this is really beautiful. If you have an orchid fan in your life, this would make a good necklace or bracelet. It is $5.92, $28. And it has a really beautiful, check out that patina. Isn't that pretty? And that's the natural color of the metal. It's not, that's not something that is, I don't know what the right word, it's not as much of a patina as it is just the metal. And the way you get this color is by heating the metal up till it's really hot. And then we go over it with a Createx wheel. And that heat that is created makes that patina. And way back in the good old days of ancient Japan, they used these for katana hilts because it's super hard. They would do the same thing, but they had this type of, I remember reading about it, it was like a coconut fiber brush that they would brush over the surface super fast. And that's how they got the coloration. All right, so I have this teeny little mermaid. This is a new one. And she has a little spiral shell. Not much detail on the face on this one, unfortunately. I don't think any of them were detailed. I didn't really detail the face, but you could see her eyes and a little bit of her mouth. And then the back of it has that kind of, her hair has a design. And this one would be used as a clasp. And I have two of these, and it's $14. So that's lot 593 if you would like this little mermaid button. I think this one would be really good. And see, you go through the tail. That's where I would latch that to make it to a button is right there. See that spot? That's where you would attach it and use it the way you would any other button. So this is perfect, I feel like, for a bracelet. I'd put that with pearls. So that's $5.93. I have two. And I have two of this. This is another mandrake baby. This one is the succulent version. So those from Tucson area or the desert can appreciate this. So there's a lot of different kinds of plants of the desert that have a great big bulbous body. And it kind of weirdly looks like skin, because they're kind of, it's sort of strange. There's a little face. You could attach something from the feet. I connected those so they could connect here. And the veil part I have here, but I think there's a connection point. You could connect from here or here. Or like some people do, they have it as just like a little, put it on your, your table or your little collection and look at it when you want to look at something cool. Not that I certainly have platter upon platter in my house of beautiful objects that I could pick up and look at. On my windowsill, every single windowsill in this house, every bookcase has little giblets on every surface. And I have one of these too. But in this particular metal, it looks really mysterious. And the best part, when you see it in real life, it has a beautiful highlight of a pinkish silver. So it's genuinely one of the most beautiful metals that you can find. This is $30 for this piece. It is $5.94, and I have two of them. All right. So if you want to take a look here, if you are watching on replay, you can always send us a message, greengirlstudios@yahoo.com, and I will let you know what I have available. Right. Let me swap this camera around. All right. Thank y'all for commenting. Oh, I see another card. Do you have a description card when you put those Shibu pieces out? Description card. You know, I generally, are you talking about for Shoshri? Because, you know, it's funny. I do not usually put these out. You know, I don't know if I have the, what you call it. If folks would really get that, you know, would they really, I don't know. I haven't put out the fancy models. It just seems to me like, who knows? Maybe I'll try it. I have them on finished necklaces, but I don't put them loose. It just seems like, you know, we do get a little bit of theft. So I am disinclined to have. I mean, losing a pewter piece, it's, you know, you're going to lose a few, but having a Shibu Ichi or silver just out, is that too big of a temptation? Because there's kids that go through the show, and sometimes, you know, that's just the way it is. They just want to snatch. So usually I have some of the eye pendants out, but I keep them in kind of close to the checkout region so I can keep an eye on them. But I haven't tried the fancy metals out. I may do it because, you know, it's unusual enough where people would be like, I've never seen that. Oh, Azalea, pass me that terrarium. I want to show this if you think you can pick it up really, really carefully. So you guys have to see this aquarium, not this terrarium I bought. So I picked this out, and it has a little door. Where's the door? There's the door. Isn't that so charming? So I'm going to make here, daughter. I'm going to put a pad out of felt of like a little tiny landscape, and then I'm going to use that to display my necklace, my big fancy necklace that I've been working on for the last, I don't know how long, forever. But I think it'll look good. Oh, can we see the purse? Yeah, I got it out and everything to show. All right, so this is how I went over it with another layer. It doesn't feel plasticky or weird. It feels pretty good. It feels the same. And I left the strap this sort of navy, and then on this side I went over it with the same colors, and the leather paint took to it, and I think it looks good. There's a little bit of, what is that? Oh, just a little bit of a little something from Marty. His fur is all over the house. So that's how that looks. Pretty good. And I've not finished. This is another one I started. You cannot see, this is one that I've had for a long time. And you know what? I think I used this purse no times, maybe one time. But it turns out that I like to carry a bunch of stuff with me. And I don't know. I never really carried it. But I started, you can see the colors. It's not done. But layer 1 is on there. And you can't really see it on this. At least I can't really see it. There's like purple down here, and there's a little bit of pink up here. You can kind of see it. But I want it to have more of an iridescent look. I might even go and paint something a little different. Maybe I might paint, like, originally I was going to paint a sea creature in the middle because it's like a perfect round where it kind of looks like it's been contained. I like that idea where it looks like maybe I have an aquarium as a purse, and then that's what's living in the fish bowl. But I don't know. Am I skilled enough to make it look? That'd be like a trompe l'oeil type of thing where it looks very realistic. I used to do a lot of painting like that when in my teenage years. So maybe I'll try to do that. Where it looks like this mermaid right here trying to swim around. Might be cute. Maybe there's two of them and it looks like a fishbowl. Maybe I'll go that direction. Maybe that's why, it has a very smooth surface. So that might be a thing. Maybe that one is saying to me, hey, I don't want to be textural. I want to be in a look that's realistic. Abby says, I wish you could paint roses on one, but I can't paint. Roses are easy. Yeah, roses are very easy. Maybe I'll do a thing on that because you just have to have the right brush, Abby. Depending on the type of rose, it's in the pet. Like if you have the right brush, you could paint it. We'll do one of those. Wendy says, I'd totally buy that round purse. Ooh, good. And yeah, round purses. And Abby says, I have the same sack purse. Well, if you're bored with it, you can get those leather paints. Wait for a sale. I did. I got I think there's several times a year there's sales on that kind of stuff, and I'm always looking because it's kind of fun to have that. The strap turned out really interesting. Oh, thank you. The strap to me was like the weak point, but I feel like I kind of saved it. Oh, I'm glad you all liked it. I have a bunch of purses that I have been saving for the purpose of painting because I also did painted jackets and I might revisit that and I might do one for Candy as a surprise, because I have a jacket that would totally fit her, because we wear a similar size and it has really long sleeves and she's taller than me. I think it would look good. And I have an idea of something that would be really sweet. So maybe I'll paint it and then ambush her in Tucson with it. It might be fun. You never know. But nobody say anything. If you know who I'm talking about, Candy Cooper. It'll be a fun gift. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. It was so fun. Shannon said, round bag would be cool to use for an in-process projects, toting to creative gatherings. For me, I need a bigger one for toting along for. You guys should see my bag. Make it look like a porthole with the mermaid. Okay, I'm gonna do it, you guys, and you'll have to. I want to see if challenge accepted. We'll see if I can pull it off. The strap looks much better. I would agree with that. I think it looks a lot better because it was kind of a boring navy. Kind of looked dingy almost. Oh, Abby, she does love a painted jacket. That's why I have a good idea for one. So we'll just have to see. And I have another thing for her. It's starting to pile up. And for Kate, what am I doing? I'm getting behind with my gifts. All right, my friends, thank you all for joining me. I'm going to give the last of this to my kitty. Let's see if he knows it's time. If he can detect it. If I just push this up, if he can smell the 1 millionth scent molecule in the environment.
That ear is perking up.
That ear. Did you see his ear?
He is listening. Oh, wow. That's cute.
Activation. He's like, ready. Happiness. See if he will go on his hind legs today. Getting a little messy face. That's so cute. Artie, you're so cute. Oh, I'm sorry. You got a little bit on your. Let me see. You got a little bit on your neck. Ah. Thumbs up on the purse. Oh, I'm glad you got. Oh, and Carrie says generous, great gift. Yeah, I think she would like it. I saw she was in India, and I was so jelly. I was like, I want to be in India, but I also don't want to travel that far. So at the same time, I was like, I don't know about that. It sounds like a long flight. Yeah, I know. Could you see? If he hears, if I flick these little plastic things, he comes around and look at his face. He's like, he's fixated. It's so fixated. He's like, I missed some. Oh, that's his other technique of grabbing it, biting it, and then dragging it back. He's like, there's still more in there. He's doing the drag, Azalea.
Dang.
That's the only thing about this is I don't like it because then it's like it gets gloopy. He does love it. That cat is on. He has a lot of love for those, don't you, son? You love them. Are you feeling like giving me a head bong bong? Did I? I guess that would be a no. All right, my friends. We will see you on Wednesday, and we'll I have some more things, and I'll let you see that porthole. Our schedule. We don't have any more live action shows lined up, so the next event is Midwinter Market. That's our big event. So here, let me hold you closer. All right, my friends, thank you so much. And we will be going through these comments and picking and picking, picking. All right, my friends, thank you so much. If you feel like sharing or letting any of your other friends on and joining us on our little club here, I would love that. All right, my friends, we are going to have some dinner. All right, thank you so much. We love you out there, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Okay, good night.